Hey guys, it's your Black Anime Queen here. This will be my last video for Pride Month and Juneteenth. I'm going to be talking about anime representation and what it means to me. When it comes to people that are LGBTQ, people that are Black, Latino, or any other race of people, and people with certain disabilities. Not just in anime, but also in TV and movies, but I will be talking about mostly anime for this one. Growing up as a kid, I watched a lot of anime, and I'm grateful because, to be honest, my childhood was a little bit lonely. Then I discovered something called anime. And the first anime that I watched was none other than the classic Cowboy Bebop. Then I started watching Death Note, Wolf's Rain, Hellsing Unlimited, all the classic early 2000s anime. And then it just grew from there. For a while, I want to say for I think a year or two, I stopped watching anime because I didn't see a lot of representation for people like me on screen, Black people, Black women, LGBTQ people. Yeah, because I felt like, okay, Japan doesn't care about people like us. They don't know how to draw us. They don't know how to represent us on screen in a positive way. But then, anime like Afro Samurai and Cowboy Bebop got me back into watching anime. Cowboy Bebop was the first one that I watched. And then, of course, Afro Samurai came out. And I felt like, finally, we're being represented on screen the way Black people should be represented, in a positive way. And then I started watching anime that was centered around women, tough, badass women that could kick your ass. To me, that was amazing. You got Sailor Moon, you got Black Lagoon, Michiko and Hatchin, all these anime that I grew up watching that are very, to me, close to my heart in a personal way, because I am all of those things. I am a Black person and a woman and LGBTQ and a person that's partially blind in her left eye. I am all of those things. And I love the movie The Silent Voice. It definitely talks about forgiveness. Also, it talks about how you shouldn't discriminate against someone with a disability because it's not right. I love that movie. It definitely talks about forgiveness. Now we have anime like Fairy Tail, Michiko and Hatchin, and Carol and Tuesday, and Iron-Blooded Orphans. Those anime and Sailor Moon, for me, were some of the best ones that I watched in terms of representation. Of course, we got Black Lagoon, and we got Sailor Moon. All badass women. Like, they weren't portrayed as weak women or kawaii women. If you don't know what kawaii means, it just means cute in Japanese, and it wasn't like a fan service. Because, most of these anime are written nowadays is mostly for fan service, for people to get their rocks off to. I don't really like fan service anime. It's kind of distasteful. It's not really my thing. But again, I like anime that is not afraid to be cultured, not have some racial diversity, and is not afraid to have badass female characters in it, and it's not afraid to draw or design anime characters that are Black in a non-stereotype way. Now, anime has come a long way since that whole thing happened with I forgot what anime it was, but it was Dragon Ball Z and a bunch of other anime. But you guys have to understand, Japan is different from America. You have other black artists making their own anime shows for black people to represent us in a positive way instead of the stereotype. And that means a lot to me. Now, Shinichiro Watanabe and Saya Yamamoto, I would love to meet and work with those people one day, because to me, they are the king and queen of cultural diversity, of being cultured. I loved his work on Carol and Tuesday. It's just amazing. The characters were amazing. The art style, the animation, everything about it was so amazing. And Michiko and Hachin, it was centered around, people of color and women of color. And I'm so grateful for those animes that I discovered when I was younger, because if I hadn't, chances are I maybe would have given up on watching anime. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, you're being dramatic. No, I'm not being dramatic. It's called being honest. Representation as a minority, a double minority, is everything to me. And I love anime that's not afraid to do that. Dokusei, Bloom Into You, Revolutionary Girl Utena, Black Butler, all these different anime that is centered around anime characters that are LGBTQ, or anime that is LGBTQ. I'm grateful for it. And there are anime that I don't like because I feel like they try to romanticize certain things that's negative and messed up and can traumatize certain people. I'm not a fan of those anime shows that do that, but I like how in Japan, for people who wrote these shows or created these shows, are not afraid to write anime shows about this stuff. They're not afraid to talk about cultural and racial diversity or LGBTQ people. In Japan, believe it or not, they do have some history with homosexuality. So they should know better than to discriminate against anybody that is LGBTQ. And there are a lot of people in Japan that are LGBTQ. And I don't think Japan is a homophobic country. If anything, there are some people that are open-minded, that are not afraid to be themselves rather than fit into this stereotype ideal society. Guess what? It's the same thing here in the U.S. It's the same thing in other countries. They are not afraid to be themselves. They're not afraid to be who they are on the inside versus who they are on the outside. They are not afraid to be themselves. They're not going to be a fake person or a pretender or be some fake image that someone else wants them to be to please them and their happiness. No, fuck that. I admire these people who wrote these anime shows and created the characters the way they did, because to me that is representation. It's fucking incredible. And even just recently, there's a shit ton of LGBTQ characters in anime and in movies and TV shows. You got the Yuri and the Yaoi genre. Some of them I don't watch, some of them I do watch, some I don't like. You got Dokusei. That to me is a healthy portrayal of what a gay couple should be, and not something they can get their rocks off to. And I'm glad and I'm happy to see that from Japan, from these creators, especially Shinichiro Watanabe and Saya Yamamoto. She directed the anime Michiko and Hatchin. Of course, it is centered around women and, womanhood and coming into your own. But this show, to me, is a good representation for black women everywhere, people of color. And I love this show, and I will continue to talk about these shows until someone gets it. And I feel like some of these shows are going to be underrated because people are so focused on all these other TV shows that are coming out. Well, I say to you, that's just fine. You like your shows, I like my shows. I am a black pansexual woman who's partially blind in her left eye. And you know what? That's who the fuck I am. That's who I am. That's my identity. And yes, I'm an anime fan, and I will always be an anime fan for the rest of my life. And I don't care if anybody disagrees with me. This is what I think, and this is what I believe. There is cultural and racial diversity in anime, in certain ones. You just gotta pay attention. So to my LGBTQ brothers and sisters out there, whether you are Asian, black, Latino, white, or in another country, you are human beings, you are loved, you are seen, and rock on. Because that's all we need right now. Love conquers all, love will always win. And I'm so grateful that anime has evolved over the years. And it's amazing. It really is. Plus, you got some badass, tough women in anime. Come on now. Look it up if you don't believe me. I love you guys. I will see you in the next video. I'm so grateful that I did this video. Peace, love, and all that jazz. If you have a favorite anime that is LGBTQ, let me know in the comments below. Happy Pride Month and happy Juneteenth. It's your Black Anime Queen, and I'll see you in the next video.